Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and I'm back here to talk to you about the same shit as always, I suppose. Nice guys are men who consider being nice their most positive trait, and we'll be reading posts that ended up on Reddit. Let's get started with Nice Guys from Reddit. These posts come to us from Reddit Nice Guys. For years now, in my dating relationships, I have listened to the horror stories of women and their past marriages to what they all call narcissists. I've heard about the constant verbal and physical abuse, the womanizing, and flirting with other women right in front of them, and their addictions to pornography. I've heard the same identical stories over and over again. These guys in their younger years were the bad boys that all the girls were chasing. They were strong, confident, intelligent, athletic, funny, and knew they could have any woman. If these girls were offered a good-looking nice guy or the hot-looking bad boy, they would go with the bad boy every time. And now, 30 to 40 years later, they are living with the shipwreck that is their life. Being the nice guy, I observed this over and over again throughout my life. Biblically, it works like this. Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It is not surprising, then, if his servants masquerade as servants to righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve. You gladly put up with fools since you are so wise. In fact, you even put up with anyone who enslaves you, or exploits you, or takes advantage of you, or pushes himself forward, or slaps you in the face. That about sums it up, but here's the deal. There are just as many female narcissists as male narcissists. Believe me, I have my own horror stories to tell. The study of God's Word, a personal relationship with Jesus, and the guidance of the Holy Spirit are our only hope for navigating through the diabolical traps set before us in our male/female relationships. Wait. He knows these women made poor mate choices in their younger years because of all their horror stories about being mistreated by narcissistic male partners? Then at the end he tells us that women are just as narcissistic as men, and he knows that because of all of his horror stories about being mistreated by narcissistic female partners? Yeah, it's a bit disjointed. I like how he doesn't only think the bad boys are hotter than him, but also stronger, more confident, funnier, more intelligent. I wouldn't be surprised if he accidentally called them nicer than him. Yeah, this perception that all narcissistic abusers were bad boys when they were younger irritates the shit out of me. The narcissistic abuser that I married was so far from being a bad boy that it's actually laughable. In fact, he was the quintessential nice guy. Kind of don't care if women want to meet in public for a first date. I'm more comfortable at home, and appear better as a potential companion. I'm a good guy just trying to get to know you in an honest and nice way. The least you can do for my effort is compromise on location. Yeah, when you meet a woman, or anyone, you should definitely open up with, "I don't give a shit if you're comfortable. Give in to me instantly." After all, my apartment is small and the door is 2 steps away at all times. Not to mention how insulting the skepticism is to a nice guy. Ain't just looking for that pussy, but rather testing if you had the willingness to give me the benefit of the doubt out of respect. All's good if not. I'll just keep looking, and if I don't find someone, at least I didn't have to waste and negate my money, time, and preferences. Geez, if he's not willing to leave his apartment for a first date, good fucking luck getting him to go anywhere else. Compromise because of his effort? What fucking effort? He won't even leave the house. And if that's his idea of a compromise for a first date to lead to a relationship, good lord, can you imagine what the relationship itself would be like? Also, just love that his viewpoint is that the woman should be trusting and respectful from the get-go, while he doesn't have to return any of that consideration for how she feels. Hoo boy, this next one is a bit of an epic. Like, literally just look at our situation. The guy you're talking to, you literally just said you like him because he's nice and patient. Maybe even mature or whatever. That's it. Like, am I not patient or nice either? I've literally been waiting 6 years. That's fucking patient. Yeah, I gotta feel like maybe she wants the guy she likes to be patient, not the one she doesn't like. I'm very, very nice. All the times you went apeshit to me, I've been understanding, and I helped you in every stage of your chaotic life. That's being nice. But nope, nothing attractive applies to me ever. I'm a fucking retard alien. I have used money on every single dating app and read so many books on the statistics of these completely biased apps to game the system to give me a chance. And I have hired a dating coach who is a dear friend who is now studying to be a psychotherapist who remade all my dating profiles online, changed all my behaviors, and taught me everything about relationships, who deemed me completely normal. He says he was taught everything about relationships, yet here he is sending this. And still we could not get any matches on dating apps, and I was doing my best to meet people by spending money on flight tickets to come back to Toronto on standby to get a chance to date. She even took candid photos of me. Used everything she knew of her research to give me the best chance, and still I got no matches. And every single friend who has tried to set me up, the person never had an interest to even meet me. My only ever real chance is with the religious girl, who never gave me a chance because I wasn't Christian. Everyone else has been harsh rejections or just refusal to let me even have a date. It puts so much pressure on me because of this. Puts so much pressure because of the lack of opportunities that I feel I have to be not only perfect, but when a person comes along I have to execute perfectly to not waste time. And I also have to live with reading all these goddamn lame-ass statistics from places like Harvard and other Ivy League schools, who has done research on dating that essentially I have no chance because I'm Asian. It's so fucking dumb and I don't want to believe it, but it definitely feels real. Like I guess I'm just an alien. Wait, did Harvard prove that it's over if you're Asian? Is that what he just said? Sounds kinda dubious. Apparently the religious girl was actually Muslim, not Christian. So he didn't even remember that about her. Me, I'm the girl, lol. I'd known this guy for nearly 6 years, which is when we became friends. He asked me out after a few months of knowing me, but I politely declined. I wasn't keen on staying friends as I didn't want things to get awkward, but he insisted he was cool, so we stayed friends. He was always single and often talked about having trouble getting laid. I was sympathetic at first, but kinda lost my patience as I grew older. Then I lost touch with him for a few years, but he reached out recently and seemed to be doing alright. Then he suddenly asked me out before Valentine's, lol, but I refused, very firmly this time, so I got this shit in return. Well, good thing it wasn't a 6-year friendship that she actually wanted. I should read some of these stories in the comments. This is exactly how I would read it, and this actually happened to me with a friend of 10 years. Not only that, but would you guess when he disclosed that I was it for him and he couldn't get me out of his head no matter what, and he was suffering because I was not there? 8 months after ghosting me for no apparent reason, and also 9 months after going to live together with his new girlfriend. I felt so hurt and betrayed, and he couldn't understand why. Talking about friend zone and whatever. I'm sorry for other guys who maybe want to be real friends with me, but I don't have other guy friends, and never again I want one. This is not my first rodeo, but it surely was the worst. Bro really hired a dating coach. The lengths some men will go to get laid astounds me. Desperation is one of the least sexy traits in any person. Yeah, this guy sounded obsessive about online dating. Buying flights. He reminds me of George Zadini, a guy I talked about once. This man was frustrated at his lack of dating success, and when PUA seminars didn't help, he shot several women in a gym. He was the first killer the incels idolized before St. Elliot. You could just tell how clueless and desperate he was from his video. I had a friend for years that was apparently friend-zoned by me because I was the only woman in his life who was nice and listened to him. Which is bullshit because he has plenty of other amazing friends, but he wasn't interested in them. He tried to play nice and show me he was a good friend. Then as soon as I told him that I had a boyfriend at the time, he went full nice guy mode. He constantly shit on my boyfriend at the time, saying he was a Chad and didn't care about me the same way he did. He tried convincing me more times than I can count that he's the best boyfriend I could ever ask for. I give my boyfriend at the time props, because the dude had the audacity to be Mr. Tough Guy by threatening my boyfriend that he better take care of me or else. He also never once understood the word no. I used to hang out at his house after work to smoke and play video games. Usually I'd sit in a chair while he took his bed. Then one day I came over and his chair was covered in laundry. Rather than moving it, he told me he'd just grab another chair and I could have the bed. I was instantly uncomfortable because I didn't want to be anywhere near his bed in case he got any stupid ideas. Well, he did. He decided to sit right next to me and started rubbing my leg. I slapped the fuck out of him and stormed out, not before telling his parents that he touched me against my will. He went on a whole online rampage telling everyone I was a whore and that I let him on when I had a boyfriend, that I was just playing with his feelings. Lucky for me, I had the screenshots of all the creepy shit he texted me. Spammed every single one of those stupid posts with them. I've never seen anyone take down so many posts so fast. The whole thing still pisses me off because I tried my hardest to be a good friend to him. Apparently that meant he had the right to harass me. I don't know what's up with this reaction from these guys. He should be like, okay, let's never talk about this again. Maybe no one will know. Instead he does the exact opposite and blasts it all over social media, like everyone doesn't already know he's like this. Good on you for ending that shit right when it started and informing his parents. I can only hope they grilled the importance of consent into his head. Ugh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Unfortunately, they didn't. A couple months later, he had a bunch of people over at a party, including someone he was pining for well before I was in the picture. Everyone got super drunk except for him because he had to make sure the house stayed clean. It was all bullshit because when the people with designated drivers left, the rest stayed to sleep it off, including aforementioned girl. He took advantage of her. She was sloppy drunk and hanging all over everybody that night, including him. He took that as an invitation to let her sleep in his bed. He crawled into bed with her and fingered her when she was basically blacked out. Her friend saw it happen, and rather than freak the fuck out on him, she decided to text everyone in the group chat that she just cheated on her boyfriend with him. I was the only one who defended her. Despite everything he did, that piece of shit is still in that friend group. I'm glad I said good riddance to all those rape apologists. On the bright side, I gained a wonderful friend from it all, but I wish with all my heart it could have been from better circumstances. Well, I guess people didn't care if he was like that. I hate this staying sober while everyone else is drunk shit. If I'm hooking up with someone at a party, I'm at least going to be the drunker one. Some of these people have apparently had this friend zone thing happen so many times. I thought I was crazy until I got to the comments near the bottom saying they haven't experienced it much. Oh, also women saying Asian guys are hot. I kinda got sidetracked by the friend zone here. TLDR, boyfriend is a wonderful person, but he's not my person, and I need to break up with him. But don't know how to do this kindly and make it easier for him. Dude, just subtract 2 years from both partners, and this seems to be coming from my ex. My best friend and the woman I was to marry. She just fell out of love. And yes, it has scattered me. It's close to 1 year and we're strangers and I'm undergoing therapy. Why do you women do this? Of course there would be days when you'd not feel the same chemistry. After a time, hormones, age, etc. comes in and relationships become boring. But you say he's a great guy who genuinely loves you and all that, right? He deserves the best? Man, the balls on this idiot. Hey, why don't you just stay with someone you don't want to be with, just for the rest of your life or so? It'll be easy because he's so nice. Guy just wishes his ex didn't have a choice in the matter. Why don't you try to be a bit better? Dear ladies, very few genuine guys remain in this world. We shatter beyond your imagination when our best people just leave us / betray us when we do nothing wrong. Honestly, speaking from my own perspective, I am that nice guy who loved as a kid, innocently and purely. Getting heartbroken from a love of that kind, add to that a best friend. No, please don't. He would definitely harm himself and may become numb after healing, if he does, or just become a villain. Don't make another fuckboy from a genuine guy. Please, for the sake of humanity. Oh my god, is this post actually from the Joker? The age doesn't really line up, but he probably sees it that way. And I feel like this 27-year-old thinks he's an old man or something. So he wants his partner to stay with him, even if she doesn't love him. Proving he only cares about himself in the relationship since he clearly doesn't care if she's happy. He's content for her to live an entire life unhappy as long as he gets to stay with her. It's unfathomable how they somehow embody such high-level selfishness but still think of themselves as nice. It's also great that he's not even talking about himself here. He's like, oh, this guy I've never met and know nothing about will definitely harm himself if you leave. Anyway, I think that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to make some changes here because my content is getting pretty archaic, including my outros. They're too long and formulaic. Like if you liked it, leave a comment if you have something to say, and subscribe if you're a complete masochist and want more. Big thanks also to my generous patrons who help me with direct support over on Patreon. I'll shout them out soon here. Have a great day, everyone, and don't turn any nice guys into the Joker.